We are live. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy James, where tonight I'm here to give you my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. It's not going to happen this video, but that's okay. I'm going to live to fight another day. Joining me is my co-host, Mrs. Beth. I'll say what's up to her.
Good afternoon. I'm here. I hope that everyone likes the video, shares, subscribes, all of those good things.
Yes, please subscribe to Mrs. Best's channel. Any reviews or recaps I don't cover on my channel, it's because we cover on her channel. We have a lot of things coming up for you guys, but so far what we have on her channel, we just got done doing 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days. I said that wrong, I know, but that's okay. Y'all know what I'm talking.
Be confident.
Oh, okay.
You said it right.
Awesome. And then we have Love and Hip Hop Miami. That's also on her channel as well. And we're going to pick up a lot more shows that come along the line that she and I will share. So directly, you guys don't want to miss it because we're trying to put in this effort. We're trying to do this. We really are. So, please subscribe to her channel. And also in my description box, you'll see links to other content creators here on YouTube. You'll see Shana, of course. Shana was one of the first YouTubers to ever embrace me. And then also we have Keywan, who just showed up in the chat, actually, as I was speaking of her. Please subscribe to her channel. It is also in my description box. Her channel, her content, she does a lot of different things, you guys. And it is hilarious. She's very thorough. I enjoy watching her.
I'm going to be hitting you up. My bad, I was grabbing protein, but I'm gonna be hitting you up because Love During Lockup is coming soon. And then I also want to know if Keywan covers the Salt Lake City Housewives.
I have not seen that on her channel. I have not, and I've been looking. But yes. DM Rock said, hey, Stacey should have kicked Ashley out of her event, not Tia. And she should have kicked them both out.
They both deserve to be kicked
They both
out.
deserve to get kicked out. Yeah, I'm sorry. No, I didn't. Now, see, I agree with you the first time, DM Rocks, but then when I watched it the second time, because Mrs. Best said, no, watch it again, because you're going to see what I'm talking about. And sure enough, when I watched it again, I said, oh, Miss Tia, you not slick. And I like Tia. I do. But Tia, I got you. Hey, Kevin Reynolds, hi, you two just stepped over from Leaving Alive that just started for, I need to watch that. Okay, no,
somebody is covering it though, because I know Kevin has been talking about that. It's a good show.
Both should have been kicked out here. Yes, they should have. Absolutely. Stacey.
So what? How does her lie make it okay for these women to harass, berate, and bully her? Especially Ashley, who's asking all these questions when her whole life has been a lie. And Tia, you just got here. And Stacey's been nothing but nice to you. And the lie that she told you was based in some other stuff, which we'll go over. But what do they want her to tell her? The exact read the 10 commandments of her fucking life? No.
It's crazy, y'all. This episode was a while. So
lying. That's why I'm like, I'm seeing the audience do that. We're not gonna suddenly choose to call out Stacey's lies when we just did that last season with TJ. This lady, like I've been saying, has been a liar, but she don't lie about nothing big enough for nobody to be this mad about is the thing.
There was a YouTuber, I don't remember which one it was, that said that what was the difference between her lying about a relationship and Robin Dixon lying about a relationship. The difference is Robin Dixon made it her storyline where Stacey has not. So yeah, they do, Keywan, and it's so annoying. It is annoying to me because if we look at everybody on this cast, y'all didn't give Mia this hard of a time.
Mia had her own hashtag.
Right.
Mia be lying. And y'all didn't get freaking out about Stacey lying when y'all had Mia lying, who was an actual criminal robbing Airbnbs with a tiny man. But people mad because Stacey don't want her husband in her business. I wouldn't want my man around these hoes either. Absolutely not.
And then when she explained it, I actually understood what she was talking about. And that's what she told Tia if y'all go back and watch the conversation. So, but we don't get into it. So we start off the scene with Giselle. She wants to trade in her G-Wagon for an electric G-Wagon, which bad choice, Giselle. Don't do it. I don't know if she did it yet, but please don't do that. Keep your V8. But she goes up there, she talks with the salesman, says that she's gonna have one of her girlfriends come up, and then the girlfriend actually is Wendy. So Wendy pops up and they're talking. And Stacy comes up in conversation, and Wendy goes, I really, really like Stacy. I do, but it's just some she's one of those people that I've learned that when she sees something she likes, she goes after it, no matter if you had it first or if are trying to develop it. She's going to, if she likes the idea, she'll take it. And Wendy said, I don't really have a problem with that. And just I said, oh, okay. So you said you have a problem, then I'll let you keep her. I don't want nothing to do with her. I'm not going to haze her, but I don't want nothing to do with her. And she goes, that's fair. And she goes, well, Giselle, I'm telling you, my lease up on my Range Rover, so I might be getting a G-Wagon too. I just want to tell you so I don't pull a Stacy. And I said, Wendy, production, y'all not shit. But hey, it is what it is. So they're driving in this G-Wagon. Giselle don't know what she doing. The man is trying to guide her, and I feel bad for that man having to ride up at there while they're having their conversation. This man does not get paid to listen to y'all rattle. Giselle, you better have bought that G-Wagon. Having that man sit there through all shit.
You sell Mercedes, you do get paid in addition to your commission. He gets hourly too. He got paid. He could sit there.
I don't know how that shit works. I don't know how it works.
Mercedes-Benz, they be requiring the most to sell one. They're one of the few car dealerships where to sell certain models, they want you to have an associate's degree. They do the most, but he got paid. He can do that. That's sales. You gotta sit your ass and let them black women talk.
Yeah. So they talk about a couple of different things. They talk about Monique, and Wendy says that, she met up with Monique. Her energy seems like it's lighter. She seems better. Giselle said, good. I need to meet up with her too, because, I want to make sure that we clear the air, because she and I have a very, tumultuous history. We didn't like each other. So I'm definitely going to meet with her to see what energy she's on this time. And hopefully it goes well. And I'm just like, Giselle, y'all, I don't know. Mrs. Best, do you think that her and Monique really could have a genuine friendship after their bad history? Yeah, she's shaking her head. No, she won't talk. She said nope. But no, I just
did to Giselle. The binder was legendary, but it didn't match what Giselle did to her. Monique did too much, in my opinion. And I know a lot of people don't feel that way. I guess that's my unpopular opinion. But from the binder to chasing Candace around that table, Monique did too much. No one will ever make me feel differently.
Right. Yeah. But that's pretty much what happened with them. They did bring up Karen, and they said that, we do miss Karen. We hope she gets free sometime soon. I didn't really care about that little part, because it's like,
I want to see Karen, if she comes back on TV, volunteering in communities or for people who've lost loved ones to drunk drivers. That's the only way Karen will redeem herself to me. I don't even think this lady took the act of getting sober seriously. I don't want to hear about Karen no more.
Me either. That's all.
We still have a show.
She coming back though, so which that's fine. I don't really care, because it's not like she's here to really do anything that's very tremendous anyway. So we can just yeah. So the next thing we have is Stacy. Her and her friend AJ, who I actually do like. She can keep this friend because he be on the real. So AJ is, they're getting a beer, and they're talking about her brand Shia, and that she is the first Black woman in the state of Virginia to have her own cannabis line. Now, I had Googled this, and it does show all over the place that she's the first Black woman. Now, Google, I don't know if you full of shit, or I don't know if we just can't find a person in Virginia, because she doesn't have a big name probably. But I'm pretty sure Stacy's not the first, but whatever. Okay. So they're talking about, the other ladies and everything. And she brings up, how her and Tia had recently got into it. And she's inviting Tia to her event, but she said Tia came at her and was mocking her, saying, "Don't let those accent fool you." And I was laughing. I'm sorry. She can't do a British accent, but Stacey is funny as hell. And I was with her friend. He said, "Y'all old asses is over here doing this shit, really? Like, what the hell's wrong with y'all?" And I do think that I told Mrs. Best this and this thing, I wouldn't have invited Tia to my event. I just wouldn't have. But I get she's doing a show, so she has to invite everybody because it's going to be on the show. But I wouldn't have invited Tia. I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have invited Giselle, Kay, or Angel. But I don't have a dog in the fight. But it was a funny scene, little mixer till we get to the big part. How do you like her friend AJ, Mrs. Best? How do you feel he's doing as her right along this season?
I mean, we saw him last season too. He's cool. I don't have too much to say about him. I just think if people have to invite people who obviously don't mess with them, you have to change your cast.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
That's really it.
Yeah, I like AJ. I do like him a lot. I think he's the one that keep it real, and he also the one that is about it and will start checking because he got Ashley together that first episode. He really did. So, here come Kevin Reynolds. Why people like Karen George Washington concubine Huger is the millionth question. Karen at one point was likable. She was, and then.
Karen reads are why people like her, and none of these huge Karen stands want to admit it, Kevin. Karen Huger is hugely overrated, in my opinion, as a housewife. She gives us no moments, and when she does get her, have to be in a situation where she has to talk about herself or be accountable, she's going to try to tell a joke or she's going to be a confessional gangster. But to me, a good housewife should be a confessional gangster, able to throw shade at the table. Karen kind of picks and chooses. And I think that because I keep hearing Candace say in her podcast that the problem with Angel is that there's no mentor like Karen on the show. I don't think Karen is that great of a mentor. She fuck everybody over that she's brought on the show. Or that was her friend at one point. She's done them all dirty. I think Karen is a part of the reason why this show has a problem with the cliques and the ganging up on each other. But that's just my opinion. I still think she's funny for her reads and stuff, but the way Karen moves has been shady the whole time, in my opinion. But
I agree.
I let everybody love they drunk housewife.
So the next scene we have is Ashley. Ashley goes out with, her boyfriend, little Josh. And, they go out to the arcade and, which actually looked like a very nice establishment. It's something I would go to. And Ashley is saying that, with Josh, she does not get the same feel that they could do the same things because she used to men closing down restaurants so they can eat, or she's used to the man taking her on his private jet and going across the world and stuff. She's used to that. And Josh just doesn't give her that, basically saying, I'm a gold digger and I'm proud of it. Basically saying that. That's what she was saying. That's what I heard, at least, what she was saying that. And she said Josh just can't rise to the occasion. So she said, so they're having this conversation. She said, Josh, I just want to let you know that I just feel like, we're just not aligned. Like everybody in my family's, I have to support them and I need someone to have my back and support me too. And Josh was like, okay, but we never had a conversation about finances. You don't know what I can do. And she goes, yeah, but we haven't done it yet. We haven't taken a trip. We haven't done all these things. And I just feel like I need someone.
Why is this man going to take you on a trip when you're not his girlfriend, you're not his wife, you're not nothing? Why is a man going to want to take you on a trip when you running around television doing other shows, kissing the mouths of old men? And another thing, this is why a lot of you bitches can't find or keep a nigga, because you find one that may have a job, but you expect the nigga to take you on trips and all of this crazy stuff when you haven't done anything to prove your value either to him as a woman. All Ashley's shown him is baggage and that she lives in a house that is owned by a potential pervert. That's all Ashley can show. And the other thing, how dare you compare a man that has barely made it to 30 to the old geezers and AARP members that you are used to dating, Ashley. If you want somebody who's going to be dumb enough to take a fugazi ass heifer like yourself out on a date and on a trip without barely knowing you with your two badass kids that you don't know how to behave, then you have to expect that you need to go date older men who can't remember much. Maybe go hit up Tom Girardi, see what he got left. I don't know. Ashley needs to not date younger men like that. And a guy that takes you on a date to an arcade, those are the best dates. You will get to know somebody very well going to an arcade, how they handle losing, how they handle winning, whether the doors are open for you. And arcades are not cheap no more. It is not 1995, y'all. Arcades are not as cheap as they used to be. I don't want to talk about Ashley no more, James.
We unfortunately have to in one more scene, but I agree with what Keywan just said right here. Yeah, because it's not like the man is broke or anything. It's just that, first of all, for you to be saying you want a man to wine and dine you want a man to do this and all that, it's like, okay, well then why entertain this man longer than what you have? You knew this man couldn't give you that shit. So why the hell would you even want to even entertain him in the first place?
Simple-headed. I feel like in Ashley's brain, she's like, if the fool know how to connect to her and her circle or circles of people who on TV, then in her mind, he may be able to connect to the money. I think Ashley wants a guy that has Josh's vibe, but she wants him to have Michael Darby's bank account. And that's okay. I don't feel like she had anything to offer to Michael when she was with them. Like nothing. She ran his restaurant into the fucking ground. I don't feel like Ashley has shit to offer to a man as a wife or a girlfriend. And women love, and I'm sorry, some women do love to get at the man. They got to have a nice car, be a certain height, have a good bank account, be able to take you on trips and buy this and support for the kids. But you look at a bitch like Ashley and it's like, what can you do? What can you do for him? Your forehead taking up most of the pillow. He can't even share a pillow with you, bitch.
And that's another thing. It's like, so you want a man when you already have 2 kids, your ex-husband has money. You want a man to come in here and supposed to compete with the last one you just left, where you could have easily just stayed with that one because what the fuck was the problem? I
feel like her divorce settlement, she probably can't access the money and what she got from it the way that we think she did. Because what people don't understand is your net worth is based off of what you have, your assets, even credit can be included in that. But I don't feel like she has the access. I feel like she would have to pull, like if Ashley Darby really needed some cash, I feel like she would have to pull a Dr. Contessa and Scott and liquidate every asset that she had in whatever way possible to get it. Like, I feel like Michael was very smart to make sure what she got covered her children and nothing else. Because even the way she went about having the kids on TV, the timeline of it was all shady. Ashley is a man eating, gold digging, big four-headed hoe. And I'm never gonna see her as anything different. She'll pimp out her mama for $1. She'll have her sister on camera in tears for $1. She'll do whatever the fuck she can for fame and to be relevant. And those are the people whose fame never last.
Right. Just exactly, because that was crazy. That was very audacious of you, Ashley. I've actually felt bad for Josh. So Ashley decides to end the relationship, and that's it. She says she has to follow her gut, her instinct, and I'm just like, at some point, them looks is gonna fade, and God gonna punish you because that's messed up. Like I really did feel bad for that man. Like I shouldn't, because you should have known what she was getting into. Hoes don't change their feathers; they just don't. I'm just saying. So anyways, y'all, we're going to move on to the next scene. So the next scene, we have Greg. He's with Miss Michelle, which is Kiana's mama. And then Angel bring her ass up in there too. And I said, Angel, don't you come on this camera no more looking like this.
Her wig looked like on the way into the damn establishment, a crow tried to land on it and grab something. You know how birds be grabbing shit with their little webbed feet? It looked like a bird's web feet got to her head. I couldn't tell if it was a wig, a weave, or crochets. But I don't understand why she couldn't run some conditioner through it or some lotion, some Vaseline, something.
Something. Because I was like, ooh, she looked like she just got through fucking and came on camera. It was like, God damn. Girl, come on now. But anyway, so Greg is looking at rings. And the first ring he looked at was one that was worth $2 million. I said, Greg, sit down. Come on now. Now, come on. Let's not get beside ourselves. Greg, and I'm glad he had
3 months salary with a bitch like Kiana. You better keep saying that. Now you are a LCSW, so 3 months salary at max for you is around $125,000. That's for each month. We gonna round that off to 3. So you looking at about maybe $400,000 in a ring, which is no. Kiana's not even worthy of the shit he was.
I was just about to say that. You took the words right up. But I feel like she would get a ring for $10,000, and then depending on how she act, on our 5-year anniversary, then I might upgrade the shit. I don't know. But no, she's not. No, absolutely not. That attitude and that, yeah, we're not finna do that. But he's looking at rings, and Angel said, I remember 10 years ago when me and Kiana was sitting on the couch and we was talking about where we wanted to be, and here she is, not looking at rings, and I'm just so excited. She's gonna be so happy. And I'm looking at her like, I don't believe you. They don't look like, I'm sorry, they don't look like they look like they were industry friends. They look like they knew of each other. They were in the industry, and when somebody need their hair permed or flipped or whatever it was, she would call Kiana to make sure Kiana got the little bit of change from it. That's what they give me. They don't give me anything but that. So when she said that, I was like, okay, Angel.
Here's the thing. I eloped for a reason. I feel like a lot of the people who be saying they're your friends, and I've noticed it too. A lot of people, especially when you've been married a while, the people who were my closest friends who I would have had at my wedding when I got married are not the people who I would even dare to invite to it today. I don't think these two are close like that. And this is like, I'm a person, I'm very friendly, but when it comes to females, I don't be trusting bitches. I'm sorry. I like the bitches that are here within the chat because y'all some thugs and some real ones. But part of the reason we on YouTube, or I'm on YouTube, is because it's so difficult to find legitimate friends. But there's bitches like Angel that'll show up to your engagement, your ring shopping, show up for you on TV, and secretly be hating or just never really have it that deep. I just don't feel like Kay or Angel has the ability to have like deep friendships really with anybody, if that makes sense. It seemed like they both kind of just go along to get along throughout life.
I 100% agree with them. I'm gonna read some of these comments real quick because y'all are killing me. I think that ring scene was shown because Stacey ate Kay up about having to chase Greg and one who has no ring. I 100% agree with that, Kevin Reynolds. I really do.
House, my condo, my car, my man. That's exactly.
This is all for show. I don't believe none of this. Greg wants brownie points. Is she engaged today? Does anybody go on her page and does she announce an engagement? I didn't see one.
Don't do that because you know what's gonna happen. Kay's gonna be like, we wanted to wait.
And I'll be like, it ain't gonna happen. Yes, Angel, she don't, and this is crazy. Greg's face when that lady told him the price.
For that wig is what Angel needs. Because don't come on. I'm sorry. As Black people, we pride ourselves in our hair. Angel, you got one more fucking time to come on TV with that same wig. It's the same one, and it's more and more tethered. Get you to Sally Beauty Supply or get on Amazon and get you a $70 wig.
Was Angel wearing geisha shoes in the scene at the jewelry store? I wouldn't even pay that close attention to them shoes. I really wasn't. Yes, we are. She is. Like, I don't understand her. I don't understand her. She would have told everyone immediately with her. I know. That's what I'm saying. I was going to say, is she engaged now? Because this is episode 10 and they only have about 7 more of them left. So is she engaged now? Who knows?
If she's not engaged and this man had filmed himself getting a ring, like, you may as well give it to her because we've seen that you were looking to buy one.
Maybe he's saving it for the reunion.
But she would have already watched, so it still takes away. It's disingenuous.
It is disingenuous. Absolutely.
For social workers, when I say we are not all like Greg, okay, most of us are good people who have discernment or the ability not to be willing to behave like this. I don't understand it. Hard wig, soft life.
I can't get past that. I'm sorry. I'm hollering. Oh my Lord. The ring. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. He gonna stall for as long as I don't think he really. To me, honestly, he will. If he was smart, he would try to wife her up because she way out of his league. If we really want to think about it. I think
that's why he's willing to do what he's doing, even though it's very clear he doesn't really like her. I don't think Greg is interested in anything about Kiana that is outside of her looks. I think she's a beautiful woman, and looking at him, I don't think he's able to pull bitches that look like her often. And I think he's just happy to have that and willing to do whatever, because it doesn't make sense at all for an LCSW. Even if you do own a nonprofit, it's called that for a reason. It doesn't make sense for you to be looking at $4 million and $2 million rings for a bitch that's barely worth 1.5 million. Just saying.
Yep. It would be whack if he proposed at the reunion, but I'm feeling like that's what's about to happen, because if she's not engaged right now in today's time, oh yeah, he waiting for that reunion. He wanted to be a moment for her, so that way she could show Stacey up. But we're gonna be laughing at you if he do propose at the reunion. We're gonna laugh at you. We really are.
What Kiarna doesn't understand is we don't like you enough to care about your engagement. Bravo's not going to give you a wedding special. If they did give you a wedding special, nobody would watch it. We don't care.
Absolutely. I'm confused on why he buying the condo that she's in now, or a new one, or what happened to the house they were building. They're in the house that they're building. That house that she was filming with her mom and brother, that was the house right there. So yeah, I don't believe he's buying that condo though. To me, and you also got kids you got to provide for. Wait, Greg has kids? I don't remember that.
I think he does have kids.
Wait, he has kids?
I think he does.
Oh hell no!
They need to put more energy into her relationship choices and less energy into the show. Personally,
wait. Keywan said he got 2 children.
Yes, they said that when he was introduced.
I don't remember. That's what. Oh wow! Oh wow! Okay.
As a woman with no kids, I'll be damned if I'm fighting this hard for a nigga that's dismissive on camera and got kids and act like he don't want to marry you. If you're going to go through that, at least go for a man where you ain't got to deal with baby mamas and kids and shit. At least get a fresh start. I'll be damned dealing with this with some already damaged goods and somebody else's recycled property. No, thank you.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I'm flabbergasted, y'all. I don't know what to. Very much, yeah, yes, very much so. Because there's some problematic areas here that we now need to investigate. I got to put my good eye on this one right here.
Red flag. That's why it's comical when Kay was my man, my this, that's my thing. That's why it's fucking comical, because it's like, okay,
that is.
If your relationship is healthy, then your man shouldn't be a topic of a storyline for the show. He should just pop in sometimes as the housewives who have husbands that, settled and chilling. Like, that's usually how it goes. But he's not. He's somehow getting scenes alone when just a season ago, he was so uncomfortable with the camera, and that was the reason why he couldn't treat you right. Now he's so comfortable with the camera that he's in front of the camera with his own scene with your mama and your friend with her tore up weave. No. Kiarna can go.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna move on, y'all. So the next scene, I'm skipping over Tia's scene, but she called Stacey. That shit was funny when Stacey gave her blank answers. Good morning. Yes. That's good. We're great. I appreciate you coming. Thank you so much. Goodbye. I was like, why are you calling?
I would have so bad, and I'm such a liar. Why are you calling?
It was, that shit was fun. I'm sorry, Stacey was killing me on that part. I was like, Stacey, damn.
Stacey is smart though. She's showing Tia, you trying real hard to align with these bitches, thinking it'll make you just fit in, but you still new, bitch, and I'm not. So I pay her the same energy. Yes. All right. Goodbye. Absolutely.
Right.
Wonderful. Ta-ta. Like,
that was hilarious. I'm sorry. I was dying at that scene. I laughed so hard. That shit was funny. The next thing we have is Ashley and her little sister, Jessica, who looked exactly like Sheila. That is Sheila twin. All she missing is a gap. I promise you, she is Sheila's twin. They're talking about Jessica going to, University of Maryland, wherever she's going. And she's telling her sister is telling Ashley about, her dad's addiction and is crying. And I said, Ashley, you need your ass whooped for having this little girl come on this TV show to talk about this man in this way. That's still her dad at the end of the day. And that's hard to even speak on because you don't know how long she's had to endure this. It's like, wow, Ashley, you would sell your whole family up the river for a damn storyline. This is so out of line. Ugh.
Honestly, the sister being a child of a parent that struggles with addiction or substance abuse, Ashley knew better than to bring that up. Also, all of my siblings, we all have the same mom and dad, but I would imagine that if your siblings had a different parent, that the appropriate thing to do is probably not what Ashley did. That's not your dad. You didn't even have your dad in your life, bitch. So you don't understand what it means to have a dad. I just feel like Ashley uses, like I said earlier on, her family for $1. She's willing to sell whoever in her life out so that she can use what they're going through as a storyline. And it always is to kind of paint herself to look like the savior or the good person in the situation, when you look just as bad as the drunk daddy by coming at your sister about something so personal when she's just getting her life started and doing it on national television.
That's just crazy.
Don't want to talk about how your dad died while this show was filming. I don't understand, Ashley, and I don't even think we should discuss it fully, just out of respect for the sister. Because
no, I am. That's what I'm saying. I just wanted to come in here and tell Ashley how trash this was for you to do this. Like, I don't care if it's just, yeah, I was dying at this. Not a gap in the wig. I am dying. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I just want to say how trash Ashley was. I hated that. Like, I watching that little girl cry like that, because you could tell she didn't want to talk about this. But you know, Ashley,
I don't think our sister expected to talk about that on camera either. But I feel like Ashley is the more aggressive person in her family. I don't feel like Sheila or her sister will speak up to her. I feel like Ashley's a little more aggressive. I just don't like it.
No, it's given. I have the money, so we're going to talk. If you guys wanted to continue, that's what it was giving to me. And this is also what Keywan saying here. The one thing that annoyed me about Ashley is saying that she's blessed to take care of her family. You dropped for a pimp and had toe babies that look like Pennywise. Now, see, here's the thing. I'm not going there with it, but what Keywan,
them kids look just like Darby, and that's unfortunate. I'm glad somebody else said it. Thank you, Keywan.
But the thing about this is what I'm saying is what I agree with. It's like Ashley, you're not doing your family any favors because you chose to marry an old ass man, siphon his money to make sure your family got taken care of, and then for you to say you want to make sure that if something happens to you, that a man will continue to take care of your family. That's just fucking crazy all within itself. So you just admitted you're a gold digger.
Women did not fight to get the right to vote, to get the right to have our own mortgages, to get the right to have our own credit scores, to spread it low and drop it wide for old geezers, and then to gaslight, manipulate our families into feeling like we have to be put on a fucking pedestal for paying their bills when they probably would have had them paid and figured it out without her. But I think in Ashley's mind, if you're not rich, then your life is just without value. That's how she acts. And it seems... I can't wait for her looks to go away. I mean, she doesn't understand her looks aren't that great because her forehead is bigger than the road that is outside of my house. However, eventually all good things fade. And when her looks fade, I'm curious what Ashley will do and who she will date.
I just feel like that's just really, she just really just made herself just look terrible. Like, I'm sorry. But yeah, but y'all stop talking about them babies like that. Not no Pennywise. Like I now Keywan, you know I love you, but that was come on.
No, it is true.
Don't talk about them babies.
I said it on live before. Them kids look old as hell, especially Dean. They look old as hell.
Leave them babies alone.
That's probably God's karma to her. Got a 2-year-old look like he's 40. Crazy. It's true.
Ashley admitted to being a gold digger. Giselle admitted to lying. This is a decent season. I mean, more or less Giselle admitted to lying, but yeah. I'm about to get to that little dinner scene in a minute. So Giselle meets up with Monique. We're going to go ahead and just go there. Giselle meets up with Monique. And I'm not going to discuss this scene in its entirety because apparently on Watch What Happens Live, Monique said there was a lot that Giselle took accountability for, but they just didn't show it. So for me, I'm thinking, okay, Bravo, I need y'all to actually release the extended cut of that scene so I can believe Monique, because I don't believe Monique. All I heard was is everything being put on Monique. When Giselle said, so are we drag me Monique right now or anything? I said, one, don't try to gaslight her in this scene because that's fucked up. And two, at the end of the day, If we really want to be technical, you and Robin started that shit. And I'm mad that Monique did not point that shit out after seeing it, because we saw Robin's hand slick her. And that's how that fight got started. So I need to know what was said. And because I don't believe Monique when she was on Watch Her, I didn't believe her at all.
Monique is also a liar just as much as the other ladies in the group. She's just famous for exposing lies. But if you pay attention to Monique on other shows outside of this one, she is a problem. I just think with Giselle may have been a bigger problem in this situation, but Monique was so adamant on going away from this show. Got at Bravo, NBC Universal's production saying that they allowed it, egged it on. She got at production and everything and made it seem like she would never return to Bravo. Then it became OWN that was the TV. Now she's back at Bravo. A bitch that flip-flop like that and then says, I worked on myself. Baby, therapy don't work that fast. So I don't know. I'm not as excited for Monique's return as everybody else. I didn't really care for her when she was on the show, like outside of Chris and just dealing with the ladies. I wasn't that moved. I think that one reunion probably gave her more of a reputation than anything she had ever done on the show.
Yeah. So that was Giselle Monique's scene. I'm not going over that because until they show what Giselle said, I'm sorry, I'm not, because to me it just seems like she called Monique. She said Monique was the bigger hater out of them two, which was bullshit, and we all knew it. And it was just kind of like, well, if y'all not gonna show what Giselle said, ain't no point in talking about this scene. But they did make amends. They did make peace, which is fine. I don't really care one way or the other. But I just
have a beef outside of that damn binder scene. Like all of this shit is based on the reunion. Giselle, right. I don't know. The way Monique explained it on Watch What Happens Live too makes it seem like they was trying to make it seem like production is not on the side of Giselle, when the reality is production is obviously on the side of Giselle because she is the front runner of this cast picture and she does not had a storyline. Anything interesting has not been well liked or respected by the audience really at all ever. So why is this lady still front and center? I don't believe shit Monique is saying. I think Monique need a check because your divorce settlement is only going to take you so far. And to maintain
she didn't get a settlement.
She got something. She needs a check. Either way, if
she didn't get
a settlement.
She didn't get child support. She didn't get settlement. She didn't get shit from him.
Definitely, that just further proves my point. She needs a check because you're not going down the network in the whole premise of reality TV as a whole. And then come back a couple years later talking about you have changed.
Right. That's all she got was the house. That's all she got.
The only thing different, it seems, is the fact that she has a new bird. I don't trust Monique.
I didn't trust because I felt like, okay, if Giselle took a whole bunch of accountability, why didn't they show it? It did. To me, that would have been my question. Why didn't y'all show it? Because y'all just made me look like I was the person in the wrong that started this when we knew it was Giselle who was hating from day one. And that's why see, Monique, I don't understand. I get being on a spiritual journey and trying to heal, but the truth is still the truth at the end of the day, regardless of where you are.
It's not on a spiritual journey. People who are on spiritual journeys and trying to heal don't fucking talk about it. They just heal. They're too busy healing and working on themselves than to talk about it. That's why Potomac fans kind of confused me, and I was nervous to even do these lives with you for Potomac because I feel so opposite from most people. Monique is full of shit. I don't think nothing has changed. I think the only thing that changed is she realized that her reputation was getting worse because she went on a Bravo show and was one of the few people to have a fight so bad that went controversial and viral. Then she left this show, had a viral moment after her reunion, went to Carlos King and OWN, pissed everybody off over there, and it got to a point where she started to have a bad reputation. I feel like this lady is back on TV just to fix her reputation and for the check. I don't think nothing's changed. I don't trust her because I wouldn't sit down with Giselle.
I wouldn't have either.
If you come for somebody like that, the father of her kids and all of that, I wouldn't feel comfortable hugging Giselle's daughter. I wouldn't want to film with her. I wouldn't want to deal with it at all. But instead, you come on TV and you try to act so changed. To be changed doesn't mean that you let people who disrespected you get away with stuff. And you also have to understand when you play with people a certain way, that binder get back was we're never going to deal with each other again. type of get back.
Right, because to me in this scene, that's why I'm not talking about it, because to me, Monique, this didn't have shit to do with you being some type of angry ass woman while being on this show and you going through with your husband. It had everything to do with this lady has some sort of animosity against you because she's like, how dare this lady live like I want to live, and how dare she have this husband out there. It was very much being audacious, and you just sitting there being angry because she wouldn't accept you. That's all this was, and that's why I'm saying I don't. That's why I don't want to talk about the thing because it was stupid to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep, and I do agree with that. Absolutely, I agree with that. Absolutely. So we're gonna move on, y'all. That was their scene. I'm not gonna talk about that because that was stupid. Then the last scene of the show was, of course, Stacy having her event, but at the same time, we have like a split scene with Wendy and Eddie because they also had a pop up at the same time, which is why Wendy was not at Stacy's event, but also Stacy had asked her at a private lunch that, you know, it would be a conflict of interest if Wendy was there, and she would appreciate if she would sit this one out, and Wendy agreed to do so. So they have this old pop-up shop. Eddie has over 27 products, one being called the Nutty Professor. I wonder if that's copywritten, if he was allowed to do that, or if he had to pay for that, because that was kind of taken away from the movie, because that's what I first thought about as well. But you know, you never know these days. But it cracked me up though, that scene where Wendy was trying to swipe her card and she goes, I don't use debit, I always use credit. And I said, production, y'all ain't shit for this. Because the whole time all I was thinking about is the alleged 46 credit cards, Pam Oliver and Eddie Hennessy shit. That's all I could think about in that scene. I'm like, Lord, y'all ain't shit.
I don't think that part of it is true. I think they did stuff with the insurance company, but I don't think they would be dumb enough to get different cards out in their name. The other thing with that is I see what production is trying to do. I don't find it funny. I don't think it's okay. This is a part of why social media interrupts the actual justice system that's already fucked, because you are supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, but people see two Black people on TV who prevalent and successful and intelligent, and they're so quick to look at all of this. As Shani just commented, we all forget the pen to our cards. Sometimes I know I am guilty of that. There's a card I have, I don't know the pin to, and I have to hit credit, and I'm too lazy to change the pin. So I just hit credit. People do that all the time, but production doing this is exactly why you have to be careful when you go on television to not be trying to live above your means, because when you do get into some shit, they're going to put you through hell, because they didn't do this to Teresa.
Nope.
When she went down. And there's a clear difference in how they treat housewives of color when they're accused of anything criminal compared to how they treat the other housewives. Because Luann, the Countess, that bitch was left and right in jails and rehabs, acting a fool. That white chick who struggled from Roni, the other one, Leah, I believe, or whatever, people gave her a break. Teresa Giudice got a break. But when it comes to Dr. Wendy and Eddie, whose crimes compared to the rest of the housewives is honestly minimal and not that bad, because they haven't hurt actual people. They've hurt the already fucking rich, which we're trying to get them taxed anyway. Like, compared to Joe and Teresa playing with people's mortgages and abusing their abilities. Like, nah, it's too much. Like, it's clear they committed a crime, but Bravo doing all this extra shit. If I was Wendy's attorneys, I would send my attorneys to subpoena or figure out a way to get Bravo to be held accountable, because they doing the most.
They are, because they showed, and exactly, Keywan, they sure didn't do this to Dorit and PK. They sure didn't. So yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, I was like, production, y'all ain't shit for this. It's stupid. That's crazy. But we didn't get over to Stacy's, launch, and she is showing everyone the partnership she has. We meet the doctor who helped her create Chayo and the gummies. She has 2 different brand flavors. I forgot what they were called already. Sorry, y'all. I'm doing this off memory. But as all the guests get there, Jazzy shows up. Which I'm surprised, because I heard in today's time they're not actually cool right now. So it's kind of funny seeing her. We, of course, AJ's the friend shows up. Then Ashley shows up as well. And Ashley notices that the dress Stacey has on was one she already wore this season. And I said, Stacey, you can't blame Vivian this time. I do think it's Wendy. What Wendy said at the beginning of this episode is true. You'll see somebody in some shit, and you'll go and buy that exact same thing and do it. I'm starting to believe it now because you can't blame Vivian for this one. So she pulls Ashley to the side. By this time, Tia had also got there as well, and her conversation with Ashley was like, "Look, Ashley, I'm trying to be in a way forward with you, but I cannot do that when you always try to call me out on things that I have proven to you were all not true. I showed you my divorce. I showed you everything. What more do you want?" And she goes, "You always do this to me, Stacey. Every time we have something, you always show me that you're not genuine, and then it comes up being a lie." And she goes, "Like what, Ashley? I've already proven to you." And seeing by this time, Stacey, I would have told her, "Look, at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck about all this. I told you what I said, and this is what it is. It's your choice to believe it or not. And if you don't believe it, then what the fuck are you doing here?" At the end of the day. And Ashley goes, "I like you, Stacey. I really do, but you need to stop lying." And so they both do the same shit where they're like, Ashley says, "Stop lying." And then Stacey's like, "Stop being evil. Stop doing this." And I'm like, I wouldn't have did all that, making all that damn noise and all that shit at my event. There's no way. I just told Ashley, "I appreciate you coming, but you on some fuck shit. At the end of the day, I don't give a fuck if I'm lying or telling you. That ain't your goddamn business. At the end of the day, ain't shit I'm talking about got anything to do with you or your pockets. So at the end of the day, if you want to be my friend, we can be friends, but I don't need you watching my every move and sneaking behind my shadow trying to catch me slipping." That's what I would have told Ashley if it were me. So, do what y'all would, but I would get Ashley all the way together. Mrs. Best, how would you have handled Ashley in that confrontation? I do agree with that, Shandy. Absolutely. Also, I think for me, it's not so much that she's reporting back to Giselle and Kay. Ashley has no storyline. So what Ashley's trying to do, she's trying to make some other shit stick that ain't really sticking.
Ashley's energy for Stacey is energy that she wouldn't dare have with Mia. Because Mia was caught lying a lot. And Ashley didn't have this energy for Mia. I think Ashley, I don't know why, but I feel like Ashley looks at certain people and says, "Oh, Stacey talks like this and acts like this. She may not have that normal hood edge. I'm going to come for her," because Ashley would not dare come for some of the other women on the cast the way that she comes for Stacey. I feel like Stacey is dealing with Ashley specifically, something I kind of dealt with growing up where I grew up. If you speak a certain way and are calmer and are not acting like you gonna knuck at somebody buck all the time, sometimes they'll think that you're an easy person to pick on. And I don't even think that Ashley realizes that Stacey has been reading her for filth and getting her together entirely. But I also feel like, again, like what you said, she ain't got no storyline. She using her sister, her mama, she using everybody she can, and she don't even realize she's being read for filth and handled like a dog that is well trained by Stacey. And I think that's why Stacey didn't put Ashley out, because it's like, you're not enough of a threat for me to put out. You can't even count, probably. Mm-hmm. Ashley can't do nothing right on the show. Ashley and Toya Bush Harris irritate me of all the housewives, because you bitches been on TV for years and years and have done not shit with your platforms. So I don't know. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. This is how Ashley wanted to treat Candace, but she learned real quick. Oh yeah, because Candace got Ashley together. That was probably some of the best reads ever in Potomac history. But we then move along. Stacey is taking picture with fans and everything. So the collective of them going this, I guess this was like a staff room or something. She had food back there, and so she talks with Tia, and I don't understand that either. I don't understand. Like, I really don't. We'll get to that one of these days. I'm gonna have a separate live for that because I don't understand that either. But they're talking, Ashley and Tia, and she tells Tia, we need to talk through our issue because when we first met, I thought we were getting on a good foot. I don't know what happened. And when we went to the morning when I was at my daughter's swim practice, I introduced you to Timo, said that, look, you were special enough because I thought you were mutual. I thought you were a mutual person for him to meet, because at the time, what happened in January is when Eddie had brought out to the public that TJ said he was getting paid, Timo didn't like that. And that would have probably been the reason why he really didn't want to sit down with Wendy and Eddie. Now, I said, Stacey, you are changing your story up just a little bit. I can understand that, y'all. I can understand what she's saying. But I think Stacey should have stuck with the whole he's not comfortable. because she did tell Tia that. Now, where Tia had it fucked up as, she goes, "That's not what I said. That's not what happened. You said that he was going out of town," still sticking with the fact that Stacey said he was going out of town, even though that's not what Stacey said. That's what Timo said. So she said that that's what your husband told me. And he didn't say anything about him not wanting to come to dinner for that. And I told you that at the dinner. And basically, words were exchanged where it even got even deeper. Talking about you calling me a liar at Giselle's event and everything and all of that. And baby, with Stacey said, "That's not ladylike. You know what? Get your ass out of my event. Get out of my event because that's not ladylike."
She
and
said, "Toodaloo." She said, "Toodaloo, get your ass out of here." I said, "Okay, Stacey."
She said, "No, because this is who she really is." I don't know what Tia said. I tried to rewind it to see what Tia said because she said something. Because Jazzy said, "Oh, not Lady Tia," and Ashley said, "Oh, damn." I don't know what Tia said on her way out. I was trying to catch it, y'all. Production edited that shit out, and I was mad. But Tia had Stacey fucked up. I'm sorry, y'all. She did. I guess Stacey changed her story. I guess she did lie. But at the end of the day,
what Tia was complaining about was whether or not Timo was on a plane or coming to her. But as Stacey said, he clearly stated to you that he was going to be on a plane. There was traveling. Other thing, what Kevin said, whenever a bitch is quick to just cut you off instead of letting you finish a sentence, it's because Tia is fighting a fight that has nothing to do with her. Bitch, you just got here at your fake ass royalty. Talk about you as royal, but your daddy didn't know how to spend the money. Fuck out of here. And when she said a couple episodes ago, "Don't be fooled by the accent," I said that means you know the image that your accent affords you, especially as a Black person. Just because you speak this way does not mean that you are any more classy or better than any of these other women. I want Tia to show us more of her marriage and her husband instead of questioning Stacey on why her man is on planes and boats and wherever the fuck he is at. You're trying to do the dirty work of Giselle. Yeah. That's what it's giving. And Tia was introduced to us as a friend of Giselle. So I'm not surprised that she is moving like this. I think Tia will learn from it. I genuinely do. But Tia knows for damn certain if somebody was to question her about her husband, she would feel away. So how dare you question Stacey about her and hers when the other women may have a reason to feel away about Stacey because she's been lying. But Tia, you just got here, bitch. You weren't here last season for the lies. It's giving you sat with Ashley and Giselle on or off camera. They told you about the TJ and Stacey debacle. And because of that, you were looking for a reason to not like this lady. Now, if Tia was not a person that liked Stacey on her own, then fine. But you suddenly choosing to have a problem with this lady after you got cool with the other women. Tia is a pick-me bitch with a fucking nice accent. That's all she is. I'm trying to tell y'all. Because her husband, and she's lucky Stacey didn't read her for filth. I'd be like, you sitting up here worried about my man being on a plane when your kids can't be left alone with your nigga without the police having to be called by the kids because the adult that's there don't make them feel safe. So
she probably didn't know that at the time. But here's my thing, y'all, and I'm saying this because I think a lot of people need to go back and watch that scene. Stacey told Tia he is not the most comfortable, in this kind of situation around this group. She feels that. So the fact that Tia kept it at this flight situation when she just tried to tell you, I don't think he's that comfortable. Like, I really don't think I can bring him around. That should have been the sign for you to say, okay, maybe it's the situation and maybe I'm reading it alone. Because he ignored your ass in the scene. Every time you asked him a question, he didn't even look your way. So it was like, I'm sorry, y'all. And a lot of people are not saying this. Like, a lot of YouTubers who are like recapping the show are not picking that out. And I'm getting frustrated with that because I'm like, y'all, if y'all go back and watch the scene, Stacey is not lying about her saying he's not comfortable because she literally told Tia that. Literally said it.
And that's the other thing. Like, if your partner, for instance, James didn't meet my husband until like very recently, honestly.
Yeah, it was this year. It was this year. Yep.
And like sometimes people, like sometimes things like that don't happen. But if someone tells you like my spouse is not normally interested in being around my friends like that, they don't care too much about that, he's had a bad experience, he's nervous about the show, which Stacey did explain all of that to Tia, and you ignore that, that says more about Tia than Stacey, because you don't give a fuck about me enough to even listen and remember what the fuck I said to you.
Yep. Exactly.
And you expect, as a married person, I'm unfortunately one of the only married people of all my friend groups. And I feel like sometimes they kind of look to you to understand certain boundaries that are placed when they're like dating someone new. Because I get people I don't hear from or talk to every day and hit me up like, hey, girl, I'm dating him now. And, you know, he doesn't fully want me around his family yet. Is that normal? Or I don't want him around my friends, like little stuff like that. Stacey tried to communicate with that and she didn't remember that. That's crazy. That's crazy. That doesn't make any sense to me. So
it doesn't make any sense. And that's yeah, that's why I'm like, that's why I'm frustrated with Tia, because I'm like, she literally just told you what it was. She goes, honestly, Tia, I think he's not comfortable. That's what she said. Those were her exact words. So for Tia not to take that into consideration, okay, he was shy, because the proof that she would have had is that he didn't interact with her in the scene. So it's like, come on, like y'all are, a lot of people are like putting this on Stacey, like Stacey is lying, but it's like, no, Stacey told her what it was. Tia just didn't want to accept that answer and wanted to play into the game of, oh, well, Stacey always lies, so here we go in another one of her lies, and now she's did it to me.
I think it's also the example of like what Wendy said. I think it was the last episode when Wendy was talking to Giselle, because they're like, why are you hanging out with Stacey like this? I mean, she took your business. And Wendy made a good point that we have been making over and over. Stacey may tell lies about little stuff, but most of it is stuff that you could tell like she's just a private person, certain shit she don't want on TV.
Right.
And I feel like them being on TV, they should respect that. The other thing is she's not lying about anything huge. She has not lied about her child. She's not lied about her like relationship status as it relates to the guy who matters. And as for TJ, if I'm not cool with nobody, I'm not paying you shit. I'm not mentioning your name or nothing on the show. So they would just have to be mad and wondering about that. So Stacey's not done anything rude to these ladies. She's not called them a name. And for those who feel like she set up Tia just to put her out, oh well. Because bitch, you felt the need to set me up and kick it around my husband and my child to run back and do some petty, I want to gossip to the next bitch shit. Not expecting that the next bitch would call Stacey in the situation. Like Tia was moving like a messy bitch and she got caught up and she don't like it and she can't hide behind the accent. She just can't. But yeah, Stacey's punishments does not, Keywan, you so right. They don't fit the crime. She's not done anything detrimental to any of these ladies. Why couldn't they come at Ashley for lying for Michael when Michael was coming after Juan so tough and pinching the asses of production? Why y'all didn't come for that? But y'all really feel like Stacey's lies are more of a big deal. So I'm like, y'all got criminals. You got Karen crashing in the trees, Wendy and Eddie defrauding insurance company while smoking blunts, Ashley married to a pervert, Angel allegedly getting evicted.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about that.
And is potentially in a lavender marriage from what it looks like. And Kiarna's married to the shadiest social worker, or may be married or engaged or not. And y'all worried about Stacey telling a lie about TJ, who clearly need to be with a man. These hoes are slow. And then Mia is stealing furniture from the area. Who does that? And y'all are worried about Stacey. I don't understand it. I wish that Stacey would find her inner Detroit and chase one of these bitches the way Monique did.
I know she got it in her. She could act like she's not confrontational all she wants to. I saw something different that last scene. Get your ass up.
Bitch. I said, oh.
I thought she's going to grab that wig next. I was like, yeah.
If I was Tia, I would have left too. When that lady stood up in that jean dress and said, Toodaloo, leave.
Yes, I was hollering. I'm sorry. It is. It's really unwarranted, y'all. It is. She's not doing anything that fucking bad. Like y'all, it's bully behavior. It's
bullying, and it's not fun to watch, and it's irking my soul.
It's giving the haters of the group met up before filming and said, we're going to go after Stacey no matter what. And like the followers, half of them they fell for that shit. Y'all have to do better than this. Bravo. Y'all got to do better than this. I cannot do another season of them picking a person to go after the whole fucking season over stupid shit. Like it's, yeah. The only thing I didn't like about the scene is that she should have gave Ashley that same smoke.
I kind of felt that way.
I did too.
But then I also feel like if Ashley would have got put out, Ashley would have viewed herself as so important or having the ability to bother her. I feel like Stacey is smart and knows not to put Ashley out because that's giving Ashley a moment. Mm-hmm. And if we could see it watching Ashley, I'm sure like filming with Ashley, Stacey's like, this bitch don't have that shit to talk about and wants to come for me. I wouldn't give Ashley a moment. I'd let her stay just to make her nervous. Like, you could be next at any point, bitch. I want you to squirm. But I'm also a Gemini and revengeful, so there's that.
I'm gonna watch that. I saved that video in my watch later tab. I'm gonna watch that later because I love Really B. So okay.
I watched it. I'm not surprised by anything that come out about Cookie. Cookie looked like the bitch that's committing felonies on the low regularly.
Keywan said the way I would be fighting, send my badge to HR. Oh yeah. But that was pretty much it. That was the episode, y'all. It was funny as hell. I'm sorry. Stacey's once again is the MVP. Stacey is definitely getting first chair next to Andy. Definitely getting first chair.
That pisses me off. I'm gonna stand up. I'm like, get your ass out of here, bitch. Toodaloo, motherfucker. When I tell you that was better than Martin kicking people out of the house. When she stood up, it was the head. She said, toodaloo. I said, oh, not just you put her out, but you gave her the direction to go.
Yeah. Great. That ending part was so Stacey. I love Stacey. I'm sorry. I do, y'all. I like Tia as well. Tia, even though she's still getting on my nerves, I still like her. I think she has potential.
Okay, if she has her own mind and stops being a pick-me. She'll be okay because she's got a storyline. She's interesting. But when you align with the devil.
Yep.
Just what do you expect here? But I think she'll learn. That's probably why her and Giselle not cool no more.
Yeah, she'll definitely learn. Absolutely. But that's it, y'all. We got to get to Married to Medicine. I'm running late. I'm so sorry, y'all. But this was quite an episode. But Married to Medicine will be a quick one. Y'all, they didn't really do too much on this until the end. But yeah, we're going over to Married to Medicine. I'll see you guys in that live. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe as it says at your screen below. Thank you guys for being here. Shout out to everybody who was in the live chat with us. And we will see you guys in Married to Medicine. See you guys later. Bye-bye.